Okay, we'll try to do a live break here on this fine Saturday morning. What's going on, planet Earth? How you guys doing? I do pretty good as long as I have my Jason from Friday the 13th hockey mask on. I feel pretty good. And if I drink about 2 to 3 pots of coffee, I laugh when people go, "Oh God, I had 3 cups of coffee. I'm so amped up." I'm like, amateur. Until your third pot of coffee before noon. Give me a break. Come on. All right. During my workout today, this morning, I felt the need for music that will blow my frickin' mind. Okay. Normally it's Anthrax. It could be like older Metallica. I also like smartass music like Bay City Rollers and all the pop 70s, like Chevy Van, Thunder Island. I mean, I love all those one. Not that they're one hit wonders, but you know what I mean? You listen to the 80s or the 70s channel, and then like disco pop comes on, and you're just like, hell yeah, son. Hell yeah. Justin Bieber, who? Taylor Swift, what? Amateurs. Uh, we'll leave those artists for people that have like 3 cups of coffee. All right. Okay. Now, time for some serious chat. Uh, Yesterday, it was fun. I did a little video about this already, but we went down to ABC Channel 4 Studios yesterday, Rockin' Hot Rod Productions, with Blaine and a lot of just great car show community peeps. Okay, we had a lot of people with Toys for Tots. My friend Tabitha was there. Some Marines were there. Some fully just decorated, looking sharp. All right, we had some of the lovely girls from Good Things, Utah. All right, they put us on our show, and that was awesome. We were able to donate just a ton of toys, and it's so awesome. BMX bikes, Barbie stuff, things for 2 to 12 years old. Okay, and if you scroll down a little bit, you can see some of the toys we gave away. They were able to film us live in front of their studios. And while we were out there, out comes this girl in sexy high heels and tight pants, like 80s pants that I really enjoy. And it ended up being Marie Osmond. And I was like, damn, that chick's got a fine ass body. Yo. And then I went, ooh. I have to represent myself as a fine young man. Well, a fine old man now. But still in my mind, I'm still young. Aren't we all? Don't you feel like you're like, well, when you're my age, going on 60 in a couple of years, don't you feel like you're still like 29 or 36? Or I'd take 40. Jesus, I'd take 50. I'd take 50 right now. Who knew that one day you grow up and go, God, I wish I was just 50. Oh my God, to be that young again. It blows my frickin' mind. The best part about being a person born in the 60s is I was around for the 60s music, growing up into the 70s. I heard that Hendrix, he bored the hell out of me. Led Zeppelin, boring. 1974, Kiss, holy crap. Alice Cooper, oh my God. Then this band Judas Priest came into my life in AC/DC, and I went, whoa, stop. By 77, it took me about a year to get into this little band called Van Frickin' Halen. And I went, oh my gosh. But secretly, I was listening to American Top 40. Hi, I'm Casey Kasem. I'm broadcasting live up in San Francisco. We're bringing you the hits from coast to coast. And right now we have a little dedication about a dog named Snuggles. Snuggles was a cute dog, and then he crossed a train track and got ran over 45 miles an hour by a locomotive. Right now, here's The Locomotion by Grand Funk on American Top 40. I'm sitting there going, what? They're doing a dedication about a dog named Snuggles that gets ran over by a locomotion? By a locomotive doing the locomotion? And I'm like, that's it. I want to be a radio guy. That's it. And then this guy named Wolfman Jack, he talked like this. Oh man, what's going on? I'm like, damn. Wow. All these other famous DJs were on the air in Santa Barbara where I grew up, from the 60s and the 70s. I didn't realize, I just thought everyone had like famous people, I lived in a city where there was Sean and David Cassidy down the street, James Brolin, Kenny Loggins. He was in Loggins of Messina singing "Your Mama Don't Dance, Your Daddy Doesn't Rock" or something like that. I just thought everyone, wherever you live, there's just famous people. So I kind of took it for granted. But I was secretly listening to dance and pop music. I remember when rock was young, me and Susie, we had so much fun. We were holding hands and skimming. You remember that? You'd throw rocks across the lake, skimming stones. Had an old Chevy and a place of my own, but the greatest thing I never forgot was a thing called the crocodile rock. And while other people were rocking around the block, we were rocking and bopping. Hello to the crocodile rock. Yeah, crod rocking. There's something shocking where your feet can't sit still. Normally they were hanging out the back windows of a 1975 Trans Am. If you're in my age group, guys, 8-track tapes into cassettes, thank you. Because you could finally go, okay, I'm going to put on Kashmir by Led Zeppelin, or just anything by Led Zeppelin 4. Every song on that album kicks ass. Even though I was more into Kiss and Van Halen and Judas Priest and AC/DC, but still, you put on Led Zeppelin, the whole album, the whole 8-track tape, every song's pretty good. And there'd be like feet out the back window of a Trans Am. And I'm like, God, what are those kids doing? Is that the crocodile rock? There's something shocking where your feet can't stand still. And they'd be like, so anyway, when you were kind of a youngster in my age group, you'd go down by the beach and kind of, drive around on your bike. I wasn't driving yet. I had a BMX bike. Huffy into Redline and Roger DeCoster Mongoose. Thank you. Although I secretly wanted a Torx and a Race and PK Ripper. I didn't have that kind of money, all right? And now those damn bikes are like 3,000 to 5,000 because they're like muscle cars. I thought old BMX bikes would turn into 100 bucks. Because with today's technology, BMX bikes are better. But if you want a classic bike from the 70s, the dang bikes are as much as a motocross bike. So anyway, all right. Pop music. It is fun. Disco, fun. I think that's why the 80s music is so memorable because we had a little bit of country was pop was pop, but then we even had modern rock and it all blended. On American Top 40, you would have Alabama going right into like AC/DC, and then you would have REO Speedwagon going into Cat Scratch Fever. And then Kiss, and even in the late 70s, you'd have ABBA, all on American Top 40. And the best part about like Sirius XM is you can get all those shows from, I think American Top 40 started in 1970. By 1972 to 3, that's when I started really liking music. By first and second grade, I was a big music just maniac by then. Had a little crappy radio. Remember those stereos where you'd have the plastic top that would never break? You'd open that glass plastic. There'd be a turntable, then there'd be an 8-track tape off to the left, and a big tuner in front. And oh my God, you'd get like little 45s for like 25 to 50 cents. And then you get albums. Oh my God, they were so good. I didn't really want 8-track tapes. I wanted albums. Had those big fold outs. Like Kiss Alive 2 is still one of the most meaningful albums. I know like Frampton Comes Alive and all these other live albums. Meatloaf. Oh my God, I'm the biggest Meatloaf fan. But I'll never forget Kiss Alive 1 and Kiss Alive 2. Because those first albums were okay, but they were the production wasn't that great. And if you put like Van Halen against Kiss or AC/DC, there's more roughage. And it's because the producers weren't right. Okay? But those live albums for Kiss, for me, Kiss got into the grit. There was AC/DC, Judas Priest, Van Halen, and Kiss. It was all the same to me then. Because of those live albums. They were more raw. They were more rough. And to this day, I still think Unholy is one of Kiss's best albums. I can't believe the production, the album Revenge. That song Unholy, oh my God, I'll put that up against any legendary Kiss song or any rock song that got radio airplay. Okay? But those pop songs, they were secretly in the back of my mind. And you know why? Because all the They dug pop dance type music. But I'm like, I can't get into that. I've got Kiss, AC/DC, Van Halen. I had Wango Tango. Oh my God. Ted Nugent was running around with long hair, like a spandex white outfit, being batshit crazy. And then there was like, oh my God, there's all these pop songs, and I'd listen to them, and my sister would have them cranking in her bedroom. And I'd be going, God dang, these songs are catchy. Then I listened to American Top 40, and they were on there, the biggest songs in the world, according to Casey Kasem. And I'm like, why am I not allowed to like rock out with these things? And I'm like, oh, image. Oh my God. Yeah. You can't have like Led Zeppelin cranking, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. You can't have AC/DC. Back then it was Bon Scott. Because I was a AC/DC fan, but during the Bon Scott days, so by the time Highway to Hell came out in '79, who knew that Bon would pass away? And they'd hire Brian Johnson to just guest lead vocal on Back in Black because the whole album was done. Bon Scott just had to get healthy and fly to Bahamas with this young guy named Mutt Lange. Shania Twain's ex-husband. Mutt Lange, the producer of Bryan Adams, Def Leppard, Shania Twain. This young guy flies out to Bahamas, produces Back in Black. To this day is the #1 rock album of all time. Nothing will ever beat it because album sales are gone now. But there's Thriller and there's AC/DC Back in Black. And I'm just like, oh God, I'm so happy. I even have a Back in Black plaque. If you see right above there, I got the Funko Pop Back in Black plaque. That kind of, don't you talk back, kind of rhymes. So anyway, to me, music is so important. It's just so fun to reminisce about all types of music. From the 50s, basically, is when rock was somewhat getting going. Elvis was probably the most famous person on the planet in the 50s, that's for sure. And by the 60s, Elvis had to move aside for the Beatles and some rock bands. But those pop songs, Yummy Yummy, I Got Love in My Tummy, I kept listening to those going, those are fun, but there's no way in hell I'm going to show up, AC/DC shirt, going, Yummy Yummy Yummy, I Got Love in My Tummy. And I'm like, damn, I would have got my ass kicked. I would have kicked my own ass just to prove that I'm aware that I was just rocking out to Saturday night. Saturday night, I'm like, quit it. Quit listening to the Partridge Family. That's like, I can't help it. David Cassidy lives in Hope Ranch, just south of where I grew up. Then I'd hear like, Your Mama Don't Dance. And Loggins and Messina, they weren't cool to a younger kid. Kiss was. There was blood. There was fire. But then we had Kenny Loggins singing Your Mama Don't Dance and Your Dad Don't Rock and Roll. And I'm like, well, duh. My family was listening to Willie Nelson and Johnny Mathis. And do you guys remember Engelbert Humperdinck and Bobby Goldsboro? You know how many times I had to hear that in the 70s? I'd be in my bedroom going, please, where's my destroyer? I've got to put on Kiss Alive 1. Oh my God. But then I'd go down the hallway and my sister be cranking the DiCarlo family, or Mama, please don't. It wasn't his fault. He means so much to me. Do you remember that song, Run Joey Run? Oh, I love it. But I'm gonna pretend I don't, because I have an image. All right, I wear a hockey mask hat and have fried hair from the 80s. So anyway, yesterday at ABC Channel 4, it was so fun. All the toys were given to the U.S. Marines, and they're going to distribute them safe and sound to just a bunch of families all across Salt Lake City and Ogden and Provo. Toys for Tots, it's massive. It's been around since the 40s, and it kicked off with a great U.S. Marine and his wife making dolls, and a young Walt Disney put some gasoline on that fire and made it even more successful. So now, over the years, there's been hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars toys donated to Toys for Tots nationally. Millions of soldiers distributing them as well. So thank you. It's my favorite charity. It always will be. Toys has been a big part of my life, especially when I started to make some money. I've got more toys than I care to admit, but I sure love them. They make me happy. And when Marie Osmond walked out, I was busting balls a little bit. I was in smartass mode. And she was riffing, man. I mean, she's really like hip. She was in the parking lot. I know there's a time and a place. You got to act a certain way. You got to read the room. But I loved it, man. She had like those big, sexy, high those shoes on, like platform. I call them stripper shoes. Okay. And those tight jeans. Oh my God, I'm totally into that. And she's rocking. I didn't know she was with Watchers. I just did a whole little bio on Marie Osmond, and oh my gosh, she's been through a roller coaster of things, and I didn't realize that. I kept focusing on, like, okay, the Osmonds, they're kind of dorky. Great songs, but dorky. I never wanted to be an Osmond. But when I saw Marie, I'm like, God dang, that Marie's kind of cute. And then the Donny Marie show, that was awesome. All right, that was a lot of fun. 1976 to 1979. They produced that show for 3 years. Right down in Orem, a couple of buddies of mine, they actually own that whole studio and that whole building now. But the memories just kept coming back to me yesterday, going, God, these pop songs. And the best part about YouTube, oh my gosh, there is nothing that you cannot find on YouTube. If you want like a commercial from the 60s or the 70s, it's there. You want like a rare song that might no one would know, it's on YouTube. You'll find out 7 million people know it too. When you think you're like, oh, no one knows this song. Then you go to YouTube and there's 1,000 comments about how great the song is. But I wanted to go through the journey of music with Marie Osmond because she was a solo singer, as you know, very successful country. And I didn't know she was only 14 when she sang Paper Roses. I was blown away. 14, isn't that about what, eighth grade? You start the first grade about six, don't you? Six plus eight. So about eighth grade, she's already famous. Bob Hope, NBC. I mean, there was no competition. There was ABC, CBS, NBC. Bob Hope, Johnny Carson ruled the airwaves. And Bob Hope specials were huge. The Osmonds came out, and then Marie. And I'm like, oh my God, eighth grade. They're born in Ogden, a little band of just brothers, and this little sister become probably the first boy band. I can't think of another boy band ahead of the Osmonds because the Jacksons were right there too. But as far as just a boy band, they were all brothers. So were the Jacksons. So you had Michael and his brothers with Donny and his brothers. And then you've got Marie Osmond. Jesus, she was kicking it by 1973 in eighth grade. It took Janet a little while to get some traction, but oh my God, I love Janet Jackson. I think she's more just as talented as Michael. But I forgot how massively successful the Osmonds were because of my denial of Kiss. Because honestly, from 74 up into the 80s, it was Kiss, 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 Kiss. As far as image and lifestyle, they're by far the biggest influence on my life. As far as a band, musically, I'm always going to have probably AC/DC as just music, not image. But I love AC/DC's image. Back in black, simple, fun. But oh my God, Kiss just ruled they still rule my life, I guess, in some ways, as far as trinkets and all that. But oh my God, Marie Osmond. So I went through her catalog and she's got really great music. It's not my favorite type of music, but I can appreciate pop music and country music. And oh my God, I forgot how talented she was when her voice started to mature from the 70s into the 80s and the 90s. And the rock pop songs that Donny did, because Donny's voice was young. Then it went to kind of a teen voice. And then it went into just a normal 20-ish to 30-ish voice. And I forgot he had solo songs in the 80s. And I just sit there and go, God, I forgot how successful. And then after seeing Marie, I just went, oh my God, I've got a funny story and I'm going to show you. But first, this is the first song that I remember from the Osmonds. Okay. And this is about 1972. Okay. And this song brings back so many memories to me. But this is a live version of Sweet and Innocent. So I hope you guys remember this song. And I'm not the only one this morning. And I know once I play it, if you're watching me live, this is probably the only one, it's the only time you're going to see this because once I play music over Facebook, they ban me. They knock the video right off. So let's just enjoy some Osmonds. Okay, this oh my God, I feel so young. But here's Sweet and Innocent, a live performance of Donny finally growing some balls and getting his voice a little. It's still as high as a chipmunk. So here we go, guys. Donny Osmond, Sweet and Innocent with his brothers. I just love this. Okay, now is this the world record for the whitest audience in the history of music? I mean, look at the audience. Look, it's oh my God, that is the safest audience. It's the only audience in the history of recorded live music where if you dropped $1,000 of $20 bills all over the floor during the show, all 20,000 or $1,000 of 20s would be handed in by the whole audience. Oh gosh, somebody dropped thousands of dollars. I was watching that audience just going, oh my God. But I love that song. I just, what is it called again? Sweet and Innocent. So 6, 7, 8. So I was about 8 years old by then, which is second. That's about what, first, second. I was probably second, third grade by then. And that's really when music, because Kiss wasn't around yet. And still, Jimi Hendrix, I know he's great, but his type of music bores the hell out of me. And even Led Zeppelin did back then. I appreciate Zeppelin, but they didn't have the image and fun. You know, I prefer Black Sabbath still to this day over Led Zeppelin because of the image and Ozzy and just crazy. And the Beatles bore the hell out of me, but the Stones, Mick running around, that's my shit, man. That's that, you know, when I see music live, Donny Osmond has more personality than the Beatles because the Beatles were in business suits and they weren't allowed. It was like illegal to have a personality in the Beatles. They just sit there and the songs are amazing. They're probably the biggest band of all time, but the boringest band of all time. Donny he's rocking out. He's giving his hat off to girls, and the girls are like, oh my God, they got like pimple cream and they're just like freaking the F out. But oh my God. Yeah, I'll tell you, I got to hand it to the Osmonds. They mop ass on the Beatles as far as personality. The Beatles broke up in 1970 with Let It Be, but oh my God, 2 years later, these these young boys from Ogden, Utah, come out and were just killing it. And after seeing Marie Osmond yesterday, it just freaked me out. I just, for some reason, I sat there going, God, I can't believe how much she's been a part of my life through the early 70s and then through the Donnie and Marie show, you know, and then, but here, look at the Osmonds. I uploaded this on my Facebook page. Look at those moves. Look at that. Oh my God. And I got to hand it to them. Look at their left foot. They all jump perfectly 1 to 2 inches. Look, their arms, their leg. I mean, boy, these guys had it down. You know, and there's Marie. And I guess she's with Weight Watchers. I didn't even know that, but good for her. And this is when I remember Marie because she had the teeth. Everyone, the eyes and the teeth are very famous. And if you look at the mom of the Osmonds, she had the exact face and the exact big teeth that all the brothers had. And which you can tell. I mean, their dentist must have just freaked out, going, "Oh my God, he's probably a multimillionaire cleaning each one of those little teethies." And now, oh my God, it's just so great. But thanks to Facebook, you can just crank all these fun songs. And if you're on my Facebook page, I put a greatest hits link to all the early Osmonds, and then into Donny Osmond, into Donny and Marie, into Marie when she had those great pop songs into the country, like Meet Me in Montana. Do you remember? In Morning Side of the Mountain or something? I forgot the exact songs, but that's the beauty of YouTube. God, you can just sit and just crank these things. You know, one of my favorite songs, do you guys remember Down by the Lazy? This song to me is more rockin' than the Beatles. I mean, here, I gotta play it. Okay, here it is, right? Well, let's just try this one. I don't know. I haven't checked this out. Usually when I do a live video, I try to check and see if it even plays. But this song to me is more rockin' than any Beatles song. And this is a bunch of Mormon guys from Ogden. All right, let's see if it'll download here, because I'm streaming and uploading and downloading. It might take a second. So I hope you guys remember this song. I know some older folks will. Rock. I gotta hand it to these guys. I mean, they're just rocking. To me, they're more rocking than the Beatles. They're rocking their ass off. Even their videos are pretty. Well, look at that. Oh, I better turn it off. I can't believe I'm sure I'm kicked off Facebook by now. I'm not allowed to play any type of music over Facebook Live, just due to the royalties and the rights. Even though I pay with my Pure Rock radio station next door, I have to pay to play music. But I can't play music over Facebook, or they just shut you right off. So if you're watching this live, you'll probably only see it once, because once I upload this or press stop, it'll be done. Just one last thing. And this is so funny, but I had my great pal Johnny Lightfoot. We did a bunch of shows on Pure Rock Radio. He was my co-host, and he's funny. And he came to the studio one night, and he's all, "Man, I got you a gift." And I'm like, "Oh, great, man! This is gonna be grow. What is it, man?" And what it was, the original dolls to Donny and Marie. And I mean in the disco outfits, those purple, pink, flamboyant, like something that like Elton John and Liberace would wear. But you guys know the 70s. All those crazy disco colors and shit, okay? So I'm like, well, I got a couple bucks. And I think that maybe I'll get some designer clothes and make Donny like Jeff Spicoli of Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And I'm going to make Marie like a sexy, hot, almost stripper. And if she ever sees the replay of this, I'm going to freak out. She's probably going to get a hold of me and go, "You rotten pervert." So check this out. All right, so Johnny, and I know Donny, he looks like he's kind of excited. I'm trying to make him look better. But what I did is I took the Donny and Marie dolls, And with Jeff Spicoli, I mean, Sean Penn, he lives in Malibu. And if you watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High, it was basically like a Southern California high school. So I bought the Malibu. Uh, I guess you call it poncho, but do you remember the Corona one? Everybody by 1981 wanted to be Jeff Spicoli with Vans shoes, and then they wanted to be basically like, dude, let's party, and just long hair, smoking weed in the van. So what I did is I even bought Donnie high tops. Okay, but boy, look at those shiny legs. I didn't realize he has like armor all legs. So anyway, I've got Donnie kind of rocking out like Jeff Spicoli or straight out of Southern California. So thank you, Donnie. Okay, now this is where if Marie Osmond ever sees this, she's gonna probably call the cops. Okay. Now, with Marie, we all secretly were in love with Marie. We just couldn't admit it. We're like, no, there's Farrah Fawcett, Jacqueline Smith, Raquel Welch, Charo. I mean, there's all these hot girls from the 70s, but we all felt kind of weird going, God, Marie Osmond, she was like a kid, and then she turned hot. And we're like, Jesus, I think we all dig Marie Osmond, but we can't admit to that. We can't admit it now. So by the time Marie finally grew up a little bit and she was 18 and 1 hour old, then we're like, okay, now we can and go, okay, Marie's pretty hot. All of us had to secretly just go, we couldn't admit it, no way. So anyway, what I did is I took the Marie Osmond doll and I ordered her some custom clothes. I didn't have the balls yesterday because I almost admitted that I have the Donny Marie dolls and I altered them. But I shut my big mouth. And here's what I did to the Marie Osmond doll. Okay. What I did is I ordered her some custom glasses, and these damn glasses were $5 for these little tiny glasses. All right. And her hair's kind of like ratted out. And I got her a stripper outfit. And then she's got sexy, badass boots. It's like, and so what I did is, okay, here we go. Can you guys see on the camera? Okay, so there we go. This is what I did to the Donny and Marie dolls. Okay, there. I guess you can see them pretty good like that. Okay, so Donny is Jeff Spicoli. Oh, here, there. Okay, there. You can kind of see what they look like. so, so anyway, okay, Donny, I'll just set you over here, buddy. But anyway, I did not have the guts yesterday to admit that, hey, Marie, it's so nice to see you, and thanks for taking pictures with all the hot rods. And she even signed the glove box of Pat's hot rod. And she was really fun. I got to give it to Marie. She was really fun, really lovely. But I did not have the balls to admit that I got the Donny Marie dolls and I altered them just a little bit. But I do this to a lot of dolls, Marie. So if you ever do see a replay of this, I know all the music they're gonna mute it out. But usually on my talk, when I do a live video like this with music, they usually let the portion of my video chit chat. Okay. So if you looking back, I have the Wonder Woman doll, and I put a designer Kiss T-shirt on her, and then one of my good friends here. Let me put Marie down. I've got a great friend. And you'll probably be seeing her pretty soon on my Facebook pages because I'm helping her produce a golf tournament down in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl. And her name is Kathy Brown. And she was with Playboy. And she was on my radio shows a lot. She was actually my sports announcer. And she's so lovely and so great. And she actually went on the show Botched because she had like face work and boobs and in that show, Botched. Do you guys know what I mean? Do you know Kevin DuBrow, the lead singer that passed away? Rest in peace, Kevin. He was a dear friend. But Kevin DuBrow, the lead singer of Quiet Riot, it's his brother. Okay, his brother is the star doctor that fixes everybody on that show, Botched. And Kathy's a good friend of mine. And what I did is, here, I got to reach over. But what I did is, Kathy took me to Kiss, one of their last shows at the Forum. And she wore this hot outfit, and it was all kissed out. And this doll, all right, what I did is I ordered more custom. I got custom boots and custom accessories. But look at it. I got a custom Kiss T-shirt. and I got the same hat. And I wish I had a picture of Kathy because this doll, I'm not shitting you, it looks 90% just like Kathy Brown from Playboy. So anyway, I'm gonna make Kathy one of these. Um, and she got a kick out of it. I sent her a picture. So Marie, you can see I'm not just a Marie Osmond kind of crazy guy that you have to run like, oh my God, does he have a Volkswagen like Ted Bundy? Run. But yeah, you can see they're kind of similar. But there you go. There's Marie, and there's my Kathy Brown, and you can see I custom ordered the shades and everything. So that's right, boy. If there's ever a duet of these girls, and then Donny can come out and maybe sing "Puppy Love," but he can sing to Kathy, not Marie, because it was kind of weird. Whenever Donny and Marie were singing to each other, I'm like, they're kind of brothers and sisters, and it's kind of hard to sing like, you know, they'd sing love songs, and I'm like, God, behind the scenes, okay. I just all of we're like, God, maybe, but anyway, all right. Well, I got to get to work here. I didn't mean to do a video this long. Hey, Gail, I can see you in there, and Jeff. I forgot to look at my chat room thing or whatever. Good morning or good evening. You know, we never know when we see these darn videos, but it's Saturday morning here in the lovely state of Utah, home of Donny and Marie. And I just thought I would share my little stories about Donny and Marie, play some music. And I've been cranking the living Jesus, not Jesus. I've been cranking the bejesus out of all of the early Osmonds down by the lazy river, Sweet and Innocent, and I forgot the other ones, Puppy Love and Paper Roses. Those are kind of small, or kind of small. Not they're kind of slow, but my God, I forgot how many hit songs these darn Osmonds had. So, high five. I got it. I got to admit, the Osmonds killed it. By the time it was the '70s, about 1972 to 1980s, oh my God, they were on the charts all the time. You just kind of forget because all the other bands kind of take over. But I just until yesterday seeing Marie Osmond in person, I forgot how many years of music, television, shows. They took over the Flamingo. They had a show there I saw, and then they took a 2 week break. And Olivia Newton-John, she lived right above my hometown in Santa Barbara in San Ynez. She flew into Vegas and did a couple shows at the Flamingo, which was this small environment. And I was able to see Olivia Newton-John, and it was all because of Donny and Marie. They wanted a week or two off. And it's funny because they were only supposed to do like 6 weeks of shows at the Flamingo. They ended up doing 6 weeks to 11 years. 11 frickin' years they did shows and shows and shows. And I forgot about all of this. And I lived in Vegas. And I'm like, God, how could I not remember all this yesterday? Maybe I was just not enough coffee in the system yet. But anyway, Marie, if you ever see the replay of this, high five. I appreciate you. And hopefully you have a sense of humor when you do see a replay. But smoking hot, Marie. Good job, girlfriend. And I will have this on my shelves in the radio studio of Pure Rock Radio. This is where I have the Donny and Marie. And thank you, Johnny Lightfoot, by the way, because he's the one that bought me the Donny and Marie dolls. And I think he got them from BT&T Toys on State Street. All right, so Terry, my buddy, owns that. 2500 South State Street in Salt Lake City. He's got dolls, $6 million man, rare collectibles from all the Star Wars, but that's where I got my Starsky and Hutch dolls, all of my crazy rare stuff I get down there. And I might go down there today. He's open today. I'm going to go down there, actually. I love to go to toy stores, especially ones that collect rare collectible type stuff. You can always go to a Walmart or go online, but it's good to support smaller businesses, especially, okay, so BT&T Toys, 2500 South State Street. I have it memorized because he always does toy conventions in the summer, and I remember the address. So, all right, guys. Good to see you, Gail and Jeff, and anyone else that sees a replay of this. Thanks for watching my wacky videos. And crank it away. A little bit of rock and roll from the Osmonds today. There was a lot of fun. Okay, we'll see you guys soon. All right, take care, guys. Have a good Saturday if you're watching this live. Okay, bye.